yesterday. The Washington Warhawks will kind of learn as we go. Dudu Gaye is one of the guys that did return from Session A, and he is on the Warhawks team. So he's the only guy that rings a bell, if you will, as far as a man on the roster. So let's get set to go. Game number 4 of this day number 1 of Session A. The ball lifted and controlled, and the Canada Stars have the first possession of this contest.
Well, Todd, we better inform the viewers that we have the NBA officials here that are working out. This is a showcase for all the talent. It's not only just the players, it's the officials, it's us here at the media table. And today we have George Tolliver here, the head of the NBA refereeing, and all the refs are really on their best behavior today, really trying to keep this game under.
C.J. Bussey fires a triple from the right perimeter. That's off the money. A guy from Indiana Tech. The loose ball is tipped out of bounds, and it'll go to the Washington Warhawks. And we do have a female NBA official. We did see one earlier this afternoon out here at the Doolittle Center. This is the second female official, and she blares her whistle off the turnover by the Warhawks on an errant pass. It'll go right back to the Canada Stars. No score. We've played about 30 seconds of the opening quarter here in Las Vegas.
Well, remember, none of these players have practiced together. They're all individuals that came in here, kind of like an all-star situation here, where they're coming in here to present their talent to scouts and try to get a professional contract, whether it's in the NBA G League, switch from the D League, now the G League, or if it's going to be overseas in Europe or Australia, Canada. So there might be some sloppy play initially, feeling out each other, trying to figure out what their strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah, we've seen that all weekend. Andre Jackson on the right perimeter will inbound for the Canada Stars. 47 seconds into the game, we have no score. And Canada will have the possession. It's a short roster for the Warhawks. There are only 8 players. We've seen many of the teams today have as many as 12 on their rosters. So much expanded from what we saw in Session A, when really there are about 8 or 9 players per team. Up top is Ahmad Abdullah from North Carolina A&T off a screen. Rockets a 3. It kicks off the back of the iron. Loose ball battle is popped into the air, and a second opportunity as Malcolm Lemons finds a cutting, streaking Oliver Ellison, and he dunks it down with a left hand. A little thunder, a little above the rim play here from Doolittle. Answering on the other end is Mike Malott, and a 3-ball from the right arch.
Like to call that the hammer slam with left hand there.
It worked very well.
It absolutely did. Bottom of the net came up there, Todd. That was beautiful.
So the Canada Stars will inbound, trailing in this game early, 3-2. Oliver Ellison holds the in-ball. Finds Malcolm Lemons, pull-up rainbow jumper from the baseline is off target. And the weak side rebound yanked down by Mike Malott, who just hit the triple a second ago.
Rebounding so important in these games, in these contests. Everybody here can jump. There's elevation sensation all over this gym. Everybody has to help out, Todd, and get rebounds, because second and third chances just aren't going to work out for your team. You're not going to have success and win a ball game, that's for sure. So look for 5 players on the boards on each side of the defensive end.
Crossover dribble by Mike Malott, and he hits the 3-ball opportunity that's off the money. But he was clipped on the elbow as he fired the shot, and he'll get 3 free throws off the foul against the Canada Stars. Burst of 3 into the air, he nails it, and he puts the Canada Stars into an all-even or a 4-2 advantage. The Warhawks up early. Second free throw into the air, all over the iron and out.
Interestingly, that the Warhawks number 1, Mike Malott, is not only a player, but he is the player coach. How often do you see that?
And he hit 2 out of 3 from the line, so he can do it all. One-man band.
Apparently he can.
Dick
yes.
Van Dyke was a one-man band, wasn't he? Mary Poppins.
That's great, Todd.
Dribbling up top, there's an open elbow jumper into the air. It doesn't go for the Warhawks, and the loose ball out to the Canada Stars. Dribble drive into the lane, nothing there. Loose ball comes away. Malcolm Lemons works wide left, swings it up high. There's an open triple into the air. That's off the arch, or off the back of the iron, and the loose ball to Tariq Ghafouri, the 6'2" starting point guard for this team. Tariq off a screen at the foul line, deals to the player coach on a touch pass that comes to the corner. Andrew Farrar collects, and they work it around the arch. 6 to shoot, they got to hurry. Off a pick is Malat, bounces it to a cutter. He lost the handle. And out of the pack comes Ahmad Abdullah for the Canada Stars.
Beautiful pass there on the give and go. Just couldn't get the handle of it. Missed opportunity there for the Warhawks, but they're coming back down the court here. Got the rebound.
Off a miss from Abdullah, a square up three that skids off the back of the iron. There's a pick and roll chance for the Warhawks, saved in bounds by Dion Romero. He finds a man open in Farrar, unloads a deep jumper, and that skids away, and the loose ball comes to the Stars. Step back open triple in the right corner. That's all over the iron, and the long carom out towards the free throw line is bounded for.
One of those unfortunate fouls you get. It's a loose ball, two guys going after it. One guy got to it a little bit earlier than the other. It's just, you just can't prevent that. You got to go about 100%, and everybody here is given 100%. I love it, Todd. Everybody here is here giving 110% today. All the players, coaches, officials, media. This is a lot of fun.
So the Stars have the possession, looking for points. They only got two. There's a kick three to the left iron. It spins off the top of the rim and away off the hand of Andre Jackson. One and done. Not many second opportunities right now for the Stars. There's Malat with an open three. That one chips off paint, and the loose ball comes away to the Stars.
You know, old school, I'm old school, Todd, but I like to see people follow their shots. You just don't see that enough in basketball anymore. You're not responsible for playing defense. Follow your shot. Try to get the shot. If it's missed, comes off front. Look for that in basketball here. It's just something that's an old art that's kind of gone away a little bit, Todd.
No doubt. Andre Jackson had a good look from the foul line, opted instead to penetrate, lowered his shoulder, and is rewarded with a couple of free throws for the Canada Stars.
Off to a slow start in the scoring. Most of the games in the tournament, Todd, have been in the 80s. On the last day of the tournament on Session A, we had a couple of games that went over 100. The final game of the Session A was 112 to 104. And we had another game that went over 100 points. But the normal average was up to between 80 and 90. And this one doesn't look like it's going to get there because 5.5 minutes left here, and we're 5-2. So
a lot of the games have had real sluggish starts, you know, where you look like you're going to get some low score, and then they start to pick up the tempo. Let's hope we have that in this game.
Yeah, the old pace picks up, and the players get a little bit more relaxed. And, you know, there's a lot of jitters. First game of the tournament here for both these teams. And I think you're right, Todd. I'm hoping that's going to happen. All these players here, I can't stress enough to the viewers that all these players are outstanding players. They're the best players on their college teams. And if you don't get invited here unless you're a special player. And sometimes it takes a little time for these players to get used to each other.
So we've played 4 minutes of the first quarter. We've combined for a total of 8 points and a real sluggish start on both sides. Sydney Carriel, though, is never sluggish. She's always got great energy, and she has this sideline update for us.
Thanks, guys. The Washington Warhawks are all from Washington, D.C., and they've all played together for a while now. They said their plan for this game is to stay professional and play the way they play. Their coach, Mike Mallet, is also a player on the team, number 1. So look out for him, and I'll get back to you guys at halftime. Back to you guys.
And usually you make a run. I mean, the point, counterpoint, punch, counterpunch. That's the name of the game. And absolutely, and the teams are responding and utilizing the timeouts to their advantage. Warhawks have the ball and a 5-3 early advantage. Holding up top is Dudu Gaye. Lost the handle reaching in was C.J. Bussey to try to poke it away. Got a piece of the wrist of the man from Senegal and Gaye, and a quick foul charged against the Canada Stars. The ball will stay with the Warhawks. They're out to an early 5-3 lead with 5.5 to go in the opening quarter.
Dudu Gaye. That's a great name right there.
It is.
Okay, I love it.
Remember when you're playing Scrabble next time to use the name Dudu.
That's a good one.
May not work in your favor, but hey, it could be a triple word score. Huh?
Yeah, very good, Todd. As on cue here, the officials are really going to be acute to the game and the clock, and they're under a a review today. The George Tolliver's here from the head of the officials, and all these guys are trying to become professional NBA officials, so they're really doing a good job of controlling the game and the clock. And
Gaillet with a hidden shoulder fake at the elbow, and he faked out himself. The turnover on the misstep goes right back to the Canada Stars. They need offense, down 5-3. And yeah, you talked to George Tolliver, very, very militant, very even-minded, level-headed, but very well organized. And I tell you what, his officials are like robots. You know, they follow the letter of the law.
There's
C.J. Bussey with an open elbow jumper, and he hits from the foul line, and he knocks us up at 5 apiece.
Much needed basket for Canada there. Keep them here close.
Around the horn, the pass to the corner to Gafouri. He tried to dribble behind his back and lost the handle on the basketball, and a mistake against the Warhawks and a turnover back to the Stars.
On cue here, the coach for Canada's bringing in a whole bunch of new substitutes. Didn't like what he saw on the court right there. The other fellas had 5 minutes to get something going. We're only able to score 5 points, so he's gonna shuffle the deck here a little bit, bring a few new players in, and see if he can't stir the pot here and get a little something going. But luckily for Canada, the Warhawks have only scored 5 points themselves, so it's not like they've dug a hole not being able to score. Both teams here are starting out very slow offensively.
And we'll see how they respond. Dribbling up high, the pass comes to the wing, and that's Aaron Armstead from Northern Illinois University. Touches it back to the left arc to Chuck Smith, gives it up in the corner. Off the dribble, pull up, a pass comes to the left baseline, and an open swish is landed by Andre Jackson. Good ball movement that time from Canada.
Excellent.
And they get rewarded with two points.
Yeah, it was excellent. Very good point right there. Sharing is caring. You get on the court, find somebody that's in a better position than you, give them the basketball. That's what makes your team happy. Everybody feels they need the ball.
Warhawks throw it away, but Dudu Gaillet pokes away an errant dribble, and he finds a steal at midcourt. And then we'll get a reach-in foul called against the Canada Stars.
Cullen Rousseau's in the game here for the Canada Stars, and he's a very exceptional player. He had sprained his ankle early in the tournament in Session A, and looks like he's walking around a little better, maybe a little gingerly, but he's a guy to keep an eye on. He can change the game. He's an offensive power, 6'9", excellent player.
Comes from a great program out of the Mountain West, Fresno State, the Bulldogs. They played in the NIT this past winter, so this is a big-time player. Chuck Smith dribbling up top, finds Cullen. Now they'll give it up to the left baseline, weaving through traffic. Right-handed runner. The kiss goes down by Ishmael Kalalu, and an end-one opportunity for the Canada Stars.
It's getting late in the afternoon, but the bank is open, okay? It's only 3:45 here, but off the glass. Really tough shot there, Todd. He was fading to the right, was able to get the ball up and drops through, and he goes to the free throw line for the old-fashioned and one.
Takes guts to split two defenders like he does, and then had the wherewithal and the athleticism to flip it off the square and in. And he knocks down the free throw to complete the and one opportunity. And the Canada Stars have jumped out now to a 10-5 advantage. They're on a 7-0 burst of their own. All of a sudden, the Warhawks are looking for some offense, and where's it going to come from? Mike Malott shuffles it away up top. Collecting is Bryant Osei. He'll reset back to Gaillet. Beautiful backdoor bounce pass to the cutting Malott. Collected, it beat the defender, and reaching in to commit the foul of the Canada Stars.
Yeah, you're not kidding. That was a beautiful bounce pass through the paint by Dudu. Found this player there going to the basket, and again, just a beautiful fundamentals. Bounce passing through the paint. And you got a lot of tall, big guys out here. And if you get that ball down on the ground, it's really hard to steal it. And his player went backdoor, and he had an opportunity there. He's going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
And he nails them both to give the Warhawks some much-needed offense. We've played 7 minutes. They only have 7 points right now on the scoreboard.
Well, it'll end up to be 40 if we keep this average, okay? So I'm sure they're going to pick it up.
Chuck Smith bounces it away to Armstead. Off a screen, pretty penetration, goes in on a couple of trees, and the shot blocked away as he tumbles to the deck. But he drew the body blow, and he'll get a couple of free throws. Good aggressive dribble drive. That was a nice screen that set that lane open, and boy, did he attack well, didn't he?
Yeah, and he got amongst the trees, and the lights went out. It got dark real quick there. He went to the ground hard. See if he can gather himself here and get to the charity stripe and get a couple of points.
Aaron Armstead from NIU. That's in DeKalb, Illinois, a Division I school. 6'4", 220 pounds, wearing number 7 on his bright white uniform this week for the Canada Stars. They've expanded to a 4-point advantage. The free throw dances all over the rim and in. And it's a 5-point lead for Canada. Here's another Canadian team, the Windsor Express, playing in this tournament this week. And earlier, we saw the former commissioner of the NBL of Canada here in the house.
Is that right? I didn't see him. Where'd you check him out at?
He was hanging in the bleachers, and we had an interview with him earlier today.
Attaboy, Todd Bonacki, you're on your game, my man. Way to go.
Even though we're in Vegas, this is Canada South apparently this week as well.
Showcase here, a lot of outstanding talent here. You just got to love it. You know, I'm just so impressed with the athletes. I got to believe over 600 athletes in the 10 years that have been in this have, and not only athletes, media and coverage have gotten professional jobs on this, and there's going to be several of them, many of them on these session A and B. There's just some outstanding talent here, including yourself, Todd Bonacki.
You're too kind. Felix Clement has just checked in for Coach Malott. He delivers up top and finds Alonzo Miller, and we get a whistle away from the ball. And a technical foul, 3 seconds in the lane, will give us a media timeout with 2:51 to go. Adapting to these rules at the NBA, it doesn't happen overnight for players, coaches, and the media too. We have to figure out what some of these calls are because they're not conventional. It's not the type of whistles that you see every day.
Yeah, NBA rules. And I think just to clarify that 3 seconds in the key, that means that the defender he was not guarding his man. He had dropped off his man and got into the paint. And you know, it's funny, Todd, I'm old school, okay? I don't want to give up my age. They'll figure that out over time. But when we were playing basketball, that's what we taught our kids, and that's what I taught my players, and that's what I was taught, was to sag off your man, get a foot in the paint.
And just plug the middle, huh?
Especially when you were off the ball. If your person didn't have the ball, you wanted to be, we called it a ball you man position, okay? You know what I mean? Be in the lane, plug it up, build a wall is what you wanted to do, so that if somebody got around their player, somebody else was there to pick them up. But you know what? The NBA doesn't want that.
Because it's almost like defensive cherry picking, if you will.
Very good, and that's why.
Does that make sense?
It's absolutely right. And they like to spread the court and allow NBA stars to show their skills.
Right.
So
they want tight coverage, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, no help. They don't want people helping. It's
one-on-one.
Yeah.
Mano. So the technical foul will send Mike Malott back to the free throw line. That's his summer home, at least in the first quarter. He's been there an awful lot as he hits the free throw, and the ball will stay with the Washington Warhawks. Love their uniforms, all black with white and red lettering, red numerals trimmed in white. Awfully sharp.
Malott, the player coach here, is getting double duty here, calling the plays. And
how about Doudou Gaillet with a little thunder here in sunny Las Vegas? Off the dribble, a little head fake, and then attacked with a left-handed finish.
The hammer slam with the left hand for Doudou Gaillet.
Warhawks needed that. That's a 3-point possession, and they pulled to within one. Down 11-10 with 2.5 to go. Cullen Russo works wide left. They touch it back to the right perimeter, and Chuck Smith gives it up deep into the right corner. A long 3-ball into the air, rattles in and out off the hand of Ishmaelia Kalalu, but there was Cullen Russo to gobble up the mistake and finish with an easy 2 underneath. He's a really good-looking player, strong footwork, and he was able to finish with an offensive stick back. 13-10 in favor of the Canada Stars. 2:09 to play in quarter number 1. And the Washington Warhawks will work it slowly around the perimeter and eat away some of the 24-second clock. A whip pass to the baseline from Felix Clement intended for Doudou Gaillet was off the money. And a mistake is a turnover back to Canada. They have a chance to tie if they can hit one from long range.
I don't think we've seen a three-pointer so far in the game, Todd.
Canada Stars will try. Pass him to the left corner to Armistead. Delivers a skip to the right perimeter. Now Cullen puts it on the deck. Off the glass, missed the kiss. Taps it back into the air. And out of the pack come the Warhawks. On the run, dishing over his shoulder, is Alonzo Miller. The layup missed by Bryant Osei, and the loose ball is kicked, and the ball will go back to the Canada Stars with 1:30 to play before the end of the period.
Boy, that was a beautiful over-the-shoulder pass right there that dished off.
Just couldn't connect, right?
Yeah, the offensive player got a little too deep under the glass, and he was going a little too fast, but nice pass. You know, sharing is caring. I like to say that a lot, but it's true in basketball. Find somebody on the court that's got a better shot than you and give them the basketball. Everybody's happy. Your team will be successful. You'll get good shots, and your field goal percentage will be higher.
And the over-the-shoulder leads to that element of surprise, and that can keep the defense on their heels.
You're precisely right on that.
Deep triple from the wing is in and out. It spins away to the corner off the hand of Aaron Armstead. And here comes Dudu with his team down by 3. Malott back to Gaillet. Ball fake, puts it on the deck. Backs into Cullen Jones. Kick to the corner on the left wing. The 3 ball is up, and that splashes down off the hand of Alonzo Miller, and we've got a tie score, 13 all.
And our first three-pointer right on cue. We've seen a lot of outstanding three-point shooters in this tournament in Session A here. Now, today's the first day in Session B, and I'll tell you, I don't think there was many three-point attempts taken or made so far in the first 3 games of the tournament today.
Such a deadly weapon, especially if you can hit it at the NBA level. Reconnect fired a lot of threes this past week, and a very good, solid, well-coached team. Triple into the air by Russo, skids away, and another loose ball comes into the paws of the Warhawks. Tied at 13 all. Off a pick is Malott. Tried to thread the needle on the pass. It was gobbled up, though, and stolen away. On the break to the other end, a right-handed rising dunk attempt by Andre Jackson was thwarted. He tumbles hard with a major thud to the deck, and he'll go to the line to shoot a couple on a foul where they really got their money's worth on that play.
Well, you described that precisely perfect. Well done, Todd Bonacki. I'd like to see the person that was dribbling down, and I'm not sure I missed the number. It could have been number 1 here for Canada. I'd like to see him jump stop and stop at the free throw line right around 15
pull up
feet
and
away.
Hit.
Well, or pull up and look for a pass.
Okay.
He would make the defender make a decision. He gave up the ball a little early and allowed the defender to then get to the offensive player there and got the foul. But you really want that player to penetrate to about the 15-foot mark, dead stop right there, see which lanes are open, give it up, and get the ball to the person who's open, and I think you'll have a little more success on that play if he does. He gave up the ball a little early.
Andre Jackson from Bowie State University in Maryland hits 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. There was a player earlier today that also went to Bowie State. Wonder if they were teammates. Dudu Gaillet was stripped on a double team, stolen by the Canada Stars, and a run-out layup easily connected by Aaron Armstead.
Great hustle right there. The ball almost got away from him when it went out of bounds, but he caught up to it.
Dudu was handling way too far out. Big man shouldn't be holding at the midcourt line, and you got to get it in the hand of the guards.
He paid for it.
They did. There's another poor pass, a steal at the end of the quarter, and a half-court heave works way short for the Canada Stars. And despite that, they've outplayed the Warhawks at the end of the first 10 minutes from the Doolittle Center, 16-3 in favor of Canada. As we get ready for the second quarter, let's send it out to Kelsey Wright-Johnson, our sideline correspondent, who is hanging with the Canada Stars coach through much of the game. Kelsey?
Coach Leslie of the Canada Stars lost his first game in this tournament in Session A, so he is hungry for the first win here, because when you lose a game, you head over to the loser side, and there's no way of getting back into it for the championship. So they're up right now, and he is hungry for keeping that victory, keep going into the second quarter. So when he talked to his team at the timeout just before the quarter, and he wanted his guys to get more aggressive on defense. We've heard that from almost every coach so far in this tournament. More aggressive on defense and push the ball on offense. He says he wants to start using their speed and athleticism against the guys who, maybe have a little more chemistry because they play together so often. This is the first game for the Canada Stars, and he wants them to start gelling quickly. Guys?
They have a really strong roster in Session B.
There's some outstanding coaches in this tournament. You have several of them from Euro. We've already seen in session A there we had 5 or 6 European coaches. Linus Gabriel, Miko Larkus, Manu Schmidt. They've all stayed around. They're going to be here in session B. And one thing, the boys are all going to get really outstanding coaching, but the problem is they haven't gotten to work with the coaches but for a few practices.
Yeah, before that, the session is done. It's time to get back on the plane. You wish you could add another week. Bounce pass to Tariq Ghaffori from Dudu Gaye, pulls up with a 15-footer, and that kicks off the heel of the iron, and one and done for the Warhawks. They trailed by 3. The possession comes to the Stars. And handling the point is Ahmad Abdullah. Finds it wide left to Mark Brown. Between the legs on the dribble. Gives it up on the wing to Devontae Harvey. He dumps it underneath. Left-handed fadeaway, just a heave and a hope. Thrown up by Oliver Ellison, and that kicked off the iron and one and done for the Stars.
Yeah, the physicality of the game here is what the players have to get used to. There's a long three-pointer.
Ghaffori missed woefully short, but the loose ball comes away to Devontae Harvey, and here come the Stars with a 3-point lead.
NBA rules here. These players have to understand what the officials are going to allow and what they're going to let them get away with, and it's very physical under the basket right now. Obviously, they're letting them play a little bit here, Todd. I like it, but I don't know if the players are absolutely used to playing like this.
That was Malcolm Lemons off an aggressive dribble drive who crashed to the deck, and he'll head to the charity line for a couple. He played in Tokyo in his last stint and helped a team from Japan, averaging 16 points and 6 boards a game.
Oh, that's
so add another to the international map, huh?
Yeah, that's great. 215 nations follow the NBA around the world. So, you know, NBA basketball and basketball itself is so popular. The European leagues average the second biggest crowds other than the United States for the NBA. The European League basketball is just huge over there, and a lot of these players want to get hooked on with the Euro League, and that could be a stepping stone for them to get into the NBA.
17-13 in favor of the Canada Stars. Warhawks trying to answer. Dudu with 5 to shoot, working wide right. Dribble handoff off a screen, finds Andrew Farrar. Gives it up to Dudu, who attacked a couple of defenders, but that didn't have a chance anyway. That's a 24-second violation.
Boy, that was close, though. It was a beautiful pick and roll they ran there. I love that old-fashioned play, and Dudu just couldn't get released as he was going to the basket. He got up near the cylinder there. The shot clock ended. There was a lot of contact. I don't know if it would have been a foul call if the ball would have been shot, but it doesn't matter. 24-second violation.
And that design play, I think, needed another second or two. If he had that, maybe he finishes, right?
Yeah, absolutely right.
Oliver Ellison works around the horn wide left, and Ahmad Abdullah now puts it on the deck. Dumps down low, bouncing an attack, and from behind, a whistle and a poke-away chance for Andrew Farrar, but he gets too much of the arm of Oliver Ellison, who beat him on the play. And the 6'10" giant from Morocco, his last playing stint, will head to the free throw stripe.
You know, one thing I'm noticing here, Todd, nobody's given up any easy baskets. Every basket attempt, every shot attempt is contended here. These guys are giving it all they got, 110%. You look around the stands here, you can see there's some scouts here that are looking at players and looking at talent, and everybody wants to distinguish themselves. Somebody needs to notice me, and if they're going to notice me, it might be from my defense. I'm going to give 110% on defense, not just play hard on offense. So, well done.
Ellison knocks down the free throws, 19-13. There's a pass underneath, and we're going to get defensive goaltending. Charged against the aforementioned Ellison as he went up to try to swat it away from Dion Romeo.
Yeah, beautiful pass. A no-look pass right there set him up for a nice, easy layup.
So the Stars will counter, leading 19-15. Head and shoulder fake, and off the dribble, off the glass. A shot is a little short. Battle for the loose ball, and it's connected to Dudu Gaye. Good aggressive dribble drive, though, from Mark Brown. Here come the Warhawks in flight. Dudu up top, under 8 minutes to go, second quarter. 19-15, the Canada Stars have led throughout, but it's been pretty close. Open elbow rainbow jumper is just off target from CJ, or check it from Alonzo Miller. Stick back chance doesn't go. Another chance for the Warhawks. Romeo had it, threw it through the legs of Dudu up high, and that'll go back to the Canada Stars with a 4-point lead.
The Warhawks working real hard on the offensive glass right there. Had 3 opportunities. We talked a little bit about how important rebounding is in these games like this. You don't want to allow the teams 2 and 3 shots. It won't bode well for you. By the end of the game, you'll be disappointed that you allowed that many second and third shots. So the Canada Stars are going to have to do a much better job on the glass.
Chuck Smith off a screen, bounces to the cutter, slashing in is Ellison. He left it short. The shot was altered and taken away by the Warhawks. Good defensive stop. Now they need to parlay into offense. There's a fadeaway left of the lane by Miller. That's one and done. Rebound to Ellison. Pushes the issue quickly to a cutting Abdullah. Leaves it for the trailer. Attacking is Ellison. He missed the shot, but tripped up as he attacked the goal. And more free throws coming up for the Canada Stars.
Looks like they called an offensive foul there. The initial, yeah, exactly, Todd. The initial ball handler didn't put the brakes on and just went ahead and balled into the defender, and before the shot they called that. So that'll wave off any points there on that basket. You gotta appreciate a guy that takes a charge. Okay,
oh,
these guys are big guys, and you got to put 2 feet in the ground and say, okay, hold my breath and grit my teeth here.
And you have the wherewithal to stop. And as you talked about, the passing player didn't do it, and it cost them a possession.
Yeah.
Here's poor ball handling by the Warhawks. A steal and a run-out layup off the window goes down for Malcolm Lemons.
Critical point right here at the end of the second quarter here, 6 minutes left. Really important here for the Warhawks to stay in this ball game here. We've seen a little run coming on here for Canada.
Malott misses an open 3 from the right perimeter, and one and done. Rebound back to the other end. Devontae Harvey doesn't disappoint as he's able to connect the medium range jumper.
You know, I would like to think that the coach there, Malott, might think about a timeout here. You know what I'm saying? It's tough when you're on the team, but right now there's an 8-point lead. That's the biggest of the game so far for the Canada Stars. Might need to absolutely need to think about it now. Okay?
Ellison with the quick hands, and they've got numbers.
Oh,
a poor pass, though. Behind the hip save. Ellison collects, rises, and dunks it down.
And right on cue, we've got the timeout.
Ahmad Abdullah with terrific hands to save it around his hip as he was hurdling the baseline. He found his 6'10" buddy and Oliver Ellison, and that was a nice finish, huh?
Absolutely, and I was glad I was talking real loud there because Coach Malott heard me and called the timeout right there. He needed to use one right there. They're down by 10, and again, though, but we've seen this happen throughout all the previous games that we've been here. Teams get on these runs, and the coaches call the timeout at the perfect time. It really is, and they get their team readjusted. Let's talk about things, guys. Let's come out, and it's worked out well throughout the entire tournament. And I think it's a template that when you're watching these games and you're a coach, think about it. When your team starts to lose momentum and the other team's building momentum, break it. You break it by calling a timeout. That's the advantage you have of being a coach, is that you can call a timeout and stop the game.
Basketball is such a game of runs, isn't it? Ebb and flow, as they say. And you have to stem the tide if it's not in your favor, and the timeout normally does it.
Boy, the vernacular you're using, Todd Bonacci, I just love it.
The vernacular, is that it? Did you just make a new word?
I just did. I'm trying to, okay? When you're old school like me, they allow that, don't they?
They do. I'll call Webster's Dictionary tonight.
Tell them to add that one, would you, Todd?
Or the Urban Dictionary online. Brian Osei inbounds. And the Warhawks have the possession. 25-15 advantage for the Canada Stars. Miss underneath. The second opportunity, though, for Dion Romeo, and fouled on the second chance. We'll go to the other way.
110% effort. We're seeing it all tournament
diving,
long. Oh, yeah,
everybody's.
They're giving it all they got. And you know what? This is an opportunity, a golden opportunity for these players to showcase their ability and their talent. So give it up. What do you got to lose here? You're trying to get a professional contract. It could be in Europe. It could be in Australia, China.
Harvey finds a cutting Ellison, and Oliver Ellison is having a field day in the block today against the Warhawks. 6'10" man, left-handed shot, good body control. That works for 2. 27-15. The Canada Stars are shining on this Monday afternoon.
Yeah, you know, Todd, I don't think he's left-handed. I think that was a nice ambidextrous shot that he used. Boy, there's a rainmaker there, huh? Much needed for
Tariq
the Warhawks.
Ghafouri.
Warhawks needed that so bad. Here we go.
And the Stars couldn't connect, and there's a steal, but they give it right back to the Warhawks. As Canada has it with a 10-point lead. Open three, spotting up, releasing is Mark Brown. It rims in and out. And we'll get a loose ball foul on a weak side rebound opportunity. It'll go against the Warhawks.
Todd, I believe this is a really critical point in this game right here. 4 minutes, 42 seconds left. Warhawks are down by 10. They need to cut into this lead and not allow it to get any worse right now. They're not really playing very well offensively. 17 points with 4 minutes, 42 seconds left. Their goal is to keep it right here. Don't let it get any worse. And if they can cut into this and go into halftime and regroup, I think they'll come out in the second half and have an opportunity to win a ball game.
Remember, too, the Canada Stars have a much deeper bench than the Warhawks, and that may be important if this game is tight in the fourth quarter as far as
conditioning. Yeah.
No doubt about it. 4.5 minutes to play. Off the dribble drive is Mark Brown. Swings it to the left corner, and a step fadeaway by Malcolm Lemons is thwarted on a hard foul by Andrew Farrar. I think was beaten on that little head shoulder fake, and he had
Was
no
it
chance.
a three? Was it a three, Paul?
Looked like his foot was on the line. So two free
shots.
throws are
Okay.
coming. It is hard to see from our broadcast
Yeah,
position at times. We
that
are
one's-
shielded from seeing the corners.
Well, I'm trying to look over Nick Anastas there. Here, our helper here in this side here. Thanks.
You're lucky his afro isn't in the way today. Otherwise, you couldn't see the left corner.
Yeah, he's all trimmed up pretty tight.
Free throw is up, and Malcolm Lemon's able to connect. If he had a big throw or a big cap, there's no way you could see that left corner.
Yeah, I was having trouble anyway. That would have probably made it just like no way at all. So, Cullen Russo into the game here for the Canada Stars, and I'm looking for him to have a big game here. He's just an outstanding player.
Kind of kid that you got to get in rhythm, I think. Get him involved early and feed the beast. If he's able to do that, boy, he can have big games.
Yeah, very good. I just like him. I just like his style of play.
Malat lost the handle, got it back, a fortuitous bounce into his hands, and he rises for an easy layup for the Warhawks, and that pulls them to within single digits. Now a 9-point game. 4 minutes and change to play, clock ticking away, quarter number 2.
Coach dialed that one up for himself there in the timeout there.
Just
Said,
like
hey,
he designed,
yeah,
too,
hey,
right?
guys, I'll get us back in this thing. Give me the ball. I'm going to get the rock. You guys spread out. Let me dance, okay? And he found a nice partner there and took advantage.
Tariq Ghafouri with a reach-in foul, and the Stars will have it. Front court, far sideline with a 9-point advantage. Inbound to C.J. Bussey, working wide right, swings it up high. 3 minutes, 50 seconds to play. Cullen Russo holds on the left wing, leaves it up high to Andre Jackson, who spots with a rainbow deep jumper that barely skids off the toe of the rim. And the rebound yanked down by Tariq Ghafouri. Into the lane is Malat, jump pass to the right corner. Finds a cutting Farrar, back to his head coach, who rockets the three. That's off the money. Loose ball rebound pulled down by the Stars. The Warhawks right now having trouble finding points, and their shots aren't falling from distance.
Yeah, that was a great look he had there, the coach. Woo!
Left-handed dunk.
Rattled out.
Didn't go for Mark Brown. Another chance, though, for the slashing. Andre Jackson, second chance opportunities, and the Canada Stars are just slowly wearing down this Warhawk team.
You're precisely right. You know, just looking at the size and the length of the Canada Stars, I think this is going to be a Achilles heel here for the Warhawks. They just don't have the length and the size here that a lot of the teams in this tournament do have.
Alley-oop opportunity on the business end, a little tough, a little tall to Cullen Russo, who couldn't find it and dunk it down. On the opposite end, Mike Milan answers, ringing up a triple from the right arch.
And that may be the way to get them back in the game. They're going to have to get their outside shooting going, and the coaches stepped it up, said, hey, fellas, let me take over here a little bit. I'll get us back in it, and there's just the man we've been talking about. Cullen Russo answers with a nice fall-away 15-footer.
That's there all day, don't you think? If they feed him like that, he could hit that all day at 6'9". They don't have the size or the length to stop a shot like that from an athlete like Russo. Malat dribble drive, switches to the left hand as he tried to lay it up, and as he elevated, the referee says he was shoved by Mark Brown, and that's a foul against Canada. 32-22. As we've come to a timeout on the floor with 2:12 to play. Sydney Carriel is one of our sideline correspondents, and she has this live update for us.
Earlier in the second quarter, the Washington Warhawks talked about how they need to simplify the game. They said to put more pressure on the Stars, and Mike Mallett, number 1, told the guys, don't be scared to call some plays out there. Guys?
Thank you, Sydney. 32-22. The Washington Warhawks are battling all week with an 8-member roster, and the tallest player on their roster is Bryant Osei and Dion Romeo, both 6'5" respectively. They do have Dudu Gaye at 6'10", but other than that, not much size. Meanwhile, you look at the Canada Stars. Cullen Russo, we just alluded to, is 6'9". Oliver Ellison stands at 6'10", and then you have athletes like Andre Jackson and the like that can make it unbearable for them to try to come back into this game.
Yeah, just looking at the other teams that we've seen in the tournament today, this is game 4 of the tournament. We've got to see 6 other teams so far, and I think it's going to be a tough hill to climb here for the Warhawks because there's just a lot of height and length in this tournament here, and looking at the Warhawks and how they're going to match up, I think they're going to have to do it. They're going to have to have success shooting three-pointers and having some long-range game here because they're just going to be undermanned on the length.
Mike Malott has been to the line a lot as he hits 1 out of 2 free throws. I wonder if he drafted himself first in the player draft earlier this week. Is that possible?
Well,
player coach, he says, I'll take myself in round number 1.
I think the Warhawks are a team that came in here together, to tell you the truth. There's another team in the tournament here that we've seen that's come in, that's World Vision. There's a steal on the inbound.
C.J. Bussey had a layup, and he follows up with another layup, and the Canada Stars are starting to pull away.
Just like that, Todd, a 4-point play. You're down by 8, and you give up 4. And
can't afford to do that at all.
Yeah, it's double digits. Right here at the end of the period, too. Yeah,
that's demoralizing, especially when you come out of a timeout like that, and boom, the Canada Stars attack, find a quick steal off an errant pass, and boom, it's all of a sudden a double-digit lead.
Yeah, it's critical time here. Again, we've talked about that. Minute 46 left in the period here. Let's see if they can keep it right here and keep it under control.
Dudu attacking Russo. Good 2-man battle on the left side. Nothing there. Reset up top to Malott. Back to Dudu. Ball fakes against Russo. Whips it to the right wing. Head fake from Farrar. They got 1 to shoot. They got to hurry. Too much passing, and that cost the Warhawks a possession.
Yeah, they lost track of it. Passing the ball nicely and moving it around, but somebody had to be a little more conscious of the shot clock.
And credit the Canada Stars. They did a really good job with that man-to-man D and forced the mistake. There was nothing there. Mark Brown penetrates, tries to bounce it to the cutting Cullen Russo, and he lost it off of his kneecap, and that squirts out of bounds. Never throw a pass down at the knees of a 6'9" man.
Well, especially, you're going to have to bounce it well before him, so it's going to come up a little bit. Right down at his feet on the first pass is not going to work, but this is what the Warhawks needed, okay? There was no shot attempt made for the Canada Stars. Let's see if they can get a basket here.
36-24, Malott pulls up from 18. That spills all over the rim and out. And the weak side board comes to the Stars, up 36-24. Pull-up extended jumper from the right elbow is off the money, off the hand of Ishmaelia Kalalu. Dudu Gaye lost the handle, and Russo steals. Outlets ahead, and rising with an uncontested dunk is Andre Jackson from Bowie State, and a 14-point advantage now for the Stars.
Unfortunately, on the slam, it looks like Jackson came up a little bit lame there. I'm not sure why.
Fell on the ankle awkwardly?
I don't know. He elevated up. He's coming down. He's going to stay in the game right now, but he's walking a little gingerly. But more importantly, that increases the lead to 14 points.
Dribble drive by Alonzo Miller as he attacked with his team down 14. Late in the second, under a minute to play. And he draws the hacking foul. And a couple more free throws coming up for the Warhawks.
Well, the recipe for the Warhawks to win this game and stay in the game may be the long-distance shooting. And they're going to have to convert their free throws. Anytime they get an opportunity for a free throw from the charity stripe, they're going to need to drop it through. Points are going to be tough. We can see that for the Warhawks right now. They're not a real potent offensive team here, and they're undersized. So
they've got to slow it down. They can't run and gun with the Stars. It'll be lights out.
Well, talk a little louder. Coach Malott might hear you there, and he might take your advice, okay?
Dribble drive by Brown, pulled up inside the foul stripe and hacked on the arm as he went up.
I think you got that. That might be the recipe too. Let's slow this game down.
It's the only chance they've got.
Yeah, slow this game down and make sure that we get good shots on our possessions because they are passers. They're good. They're good passers. They're not selfish players. They look for players that have better shots, but it's tough if they're going to go at the pace like the Canada Stars. And a lot of these teams in the tournament have a really high pace, Todd. You well know that. They like to run up and down the court, use their athleticism and size, and that's not going to be any kind of a recipe for success for the Washington Warhawks.
That's what I love. Fun basketball, up and down action, get into a flow, into a rhythm. That's the entertaining basketball I'll watch on television.
So you are a big Golden State Warriors fan like
Absolutely.
I am. Is that right, Todd Bonacki? I'm from Northern California, and I know you're from Missouri, but you still appreciate a good basketball team.
There's no doubt. 12-point lead, 17 seconds to go. Pull up long J by Bryant Osei comes low short. And the rebound pulled down by the Stars. 8 seconds to go, dribbling left hand, right hand. That's C.J. Bussey in front of us. Works up high, now accelerates down the lane, off his feet, kicks to the corner. Three at the buzzer is short. And that's the end of an entertaining first half of the fourth game of the day. Day one of session number B. And it's fair to say that the Canada Stars are shining here deep in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. They really look good. And boy, they just have too many guns, too many bullets in their holster right now.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of length and size, and the pace of the game is more their pace, obviously. But I think you came up with some pretty good an antidote for the maybe that Washington Warheads could use. Let's slow the game down. And they have Coach Malot's over there talking to his boys right now, and let's slow the game down. Let's try to get some better shots. Maybe we're going to have to step outside and see if we can extend our shooting a little bit, get to the three-point line. Maybe drive to the hoop, try to get some fouls, get to the charity strip. Because at this pace and the way the game's going is not going to work out well for them. They just don't have enough length. They're short on the bench. You mentioned they only had 8 players, and that's going to wear them down, okay? But first game of the tournament, they're running up against a team here, the Canada Stars, that are playing very well. So what do we got? 20 minutes left. We're using the NBA 10-minute quarters, 20 minutes left. I think the most important part of the 20 minutes, Todd, is going to be the first part of the second half. As soon as the second half starts, Malot's going to have to get his team going. So here we go. I think they want you to throw it over there to our sideline reporter.
So I'm here with Mike. Mike, you're a coach and a player. How do you maintain the mentality of a coach while you're playing on the court?
Well, really, it's just the culture that we established over there as the guys. I mean, they all support each other. They all work together. So me coaching, I'm just relaying matchups. I'm relaying, ISOs and those types of things. I'm not necessarily doing all the coaching. We do the coaching in practice. When out here, we just want to play. So it's not that hard to play and coach as far as because we do the prep work in practice. So
going into the second half, you guys are down a few points. How are you guys going to get back in the game? What adjustments do you think you need to make?
Well, I mean, it's a long game, so we just want to keep it close in the beginning. We want to keep it close. We haven't played since, I'd say, February. So we're a little sloppy. We're turning the ball over. We're missing shots. So just keep it close, and then in the second half, hopefully those shots start going in.
How will you guys simplify your game a little bit more? I heard you guys talk about on the sideline. You want to play simple, just basically score some shots. How are you guys planning to do that?
Well, we're a little rushed, and I think that's because we haven't been on the court. So we get excited. We get excited. So we touch it, and we're like, oh, it's my time. We just gotta slow down. So if we slow down, I think those reads will start coming a little bit better.
Thanks, Mike. Good luck the second half. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Sydney. And, despite the fact that he's down a dozen, Mike Malott wearing a big, broad smile on his face. He's happy to be here. And I know he and his teammates are certainly happy to be here. And they want to make some noise before the end of Wednesday night, huh?
Well, he's happy to be here, and it's pretty nice to be talking to our sideline reporter, Sydney Carriel there from Hayward, California. I'm from Northern California, and she's just doing a wonderful job, her and Kelsey Wright-Johnson. Looks like Kelsey Wright-Johnson's going to interview Cullen Rousseau now. So we've got our sideline reporters are really kicking it.
All right, let's send it to Kelsey and the Fresno State Bulldogs.
Maybe. All right, so you're in the second session now. You were here for the first section, played for the Greek in the first. Now you're over on the Canada Stars, excuse me. Tell me what the difference is. Tell me what the difference is going in with a new coach, a new team for this second session. Yesterday, you were on a different team with a different coach.
Just trying to bring energy, carry over, playing hard, and I'm just trying to learn from this coach. It's all a learning experience, so just try to take everything in you can.
All right, guys, he's got 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals. Let's see what's next in the second half. Good luck. Get back there. Guys, back to you.
Thanks a bunch, Sydney. Yeah, Cullen Russo's got to hustle onto the floor right after the interview. And, credit a lot of these guys. Very mature, very cooperative, Nick. And they love the attention, but they love the opportunity to tell everybody what they're about when these interviews,
Yeah, you're exactly right. The coach is going to let him sit on the bench for a couple of minutes here to get his head regrouped here to start the second half here. But really important here, right here, for the Washington Warheads to get back in the game right here. Down by 12, they're going to either cut this thing or it's going to get worse. So let's see what they can do here. Beautiful pass.
Between the legs of Oliver Ellison, and the 2-point field goal goes down for Felix Clement, just like they designed it on the drawing board. Top of the key triple landed on C.J. Bussey as he counters, and the Canada Stars extend their lead back to 13, 41-28.
Mike Malott there was leading scorer for the first half for the Washington Warheads, 15 points. He's going to need a little bit more help, though. Second leading scorer, Alonzo Miller, with 5 points. You look at the Canada Stars, and they're very well-rounded so far, Todd. They've got several players doing a good job here.
Nobody in double digits, but you're right. Great balance in scoring.
Yeah, they're doing good there.
Andre Jackson with 8, Oliver Ellison in the post with 8. And as you said on the other side, the Warhawks, their player head coach, Mike Malott, he's a ball hog. 15 points for them.
Well, let's hope that some other players can step up and help him. He's gonna need some help.
He's called his own number a lot today. There's a dribble drive and a short layup, followed by Doudou Gaillet, and that goes down off the miss.
I think if
Felix Clement.
If there's anybody out there, Todd, that can score, we know Doudou Gaillet can. So maybe he can step it up offensively and get into the double digits here.
There's Ellison stepping back, showing his range from the elbow. Right elbow, left-handed, nothing but net for the 6'10" man. Pretty shot.
You got to like the range that the 6'10" player has, and that's where basketball's going these days, Todd. These big, long, tall players are stepping out to the three-point line. It opens up the court, allows a lot of players to slash, and it just spreads the court out. We've seen it in the NBA for a long time now here.
Bussey misses. Ball saved in bounds by Ellison for the Stars, but he threw it away. Mike Malott trying to collect a poor pass behind his hip. He stumbles out of bounds, and it comes back to the Stars. Off the dribble, gliding in and scoring with the finger roll is Malcolm Lemons. 45-30. This game could get out of hand very quickly.
That was pretty. Yeah, he glided in there. You're not kidding. Took off about the free throw line, Todd, and just covered some ground there. Laid it in with his fingertips right over the front rim.
Clement, unselfish pass to the corner, and an open triple landed by Alonzo Miller. The extra pass, sometimes that's all it takes. Find the open man.
And the three-pointer. That's just what the recipe is for them to get back into this contest. Spread the court and hit some threes.
There's a touch pass to the right wing and a rainbow triple try by Aaron Armstead. It skids away, and there's a good chance now for the Warhawks, down 12 to make more hay.
Doudou Gaillet running the offense out in front there. That's interesting. Going to take a three himself. And buries it.
Well, his foot was on the line. The toe was on the line. But 6'10", can run the point, and he can hit the 22-footer too, huh?
And on cue, he scored 4 points here in the second half already. Only scored 2 points in the first half.
There's a triple and ring up another for C.J. Bussey.
Well, the offenses have absolutely started to heat up here a little bit in the third quarter, Todd.
The 3 ball by Bussey out of Indiana Tech. And the lead is a 13-point bulge for the Canada Stars. Mike Malott off the dribble, goes at Malcolm Lemons, and will get a little shove in the kidney, I believe. It will be a foul against Lemons.
Lemons allowed him to get to the baseline, and Malott just had a half step on him, and like you mentioned, a little kidney blow there. The referee caught it.
48-35. When your only real tall chance is Doudou Gaillet, are you satisfied with the fact that he really is playing high a lot? Would you like to see him further in the block on offensive sets?
I'd like to see him further, but he spread the court. He was outside, and maybe when he goes outside, Todd, it'll bring his man outside. So
open things up down the middle.
Possibly.
Not a bad idea. Washington Warhawks on the steal. Both teams turn it over in the last 10 seconds. And they put it in motion. There's a dribble to the foul line by Alonzo Miller. He was harassed, lost the handle of it, and was fouled. Not in the act of shooting. And the Warhawks will have it down 13.
You know, they're getting some fouls, though. That's the third team foul, I believe, in the period here. And possibly they can get the Canada Stars in foul trouble and get to the foul line and start getting some points off the charity stripe.
Mac Malott will take a seat. He needs a break. He calls his own number to the bench, and he sends in Andrew Farrar at 6'3" in his stead. There's a pass to the right block, double team on Dion Romeo. He kicks it back to Dudu. His elbow jumper is off the money, and the rebound on a break, the Canada Stars. Pass to the wing, a right-handed layup, book it for Malcolm Lemons.
Beautiful pass, dropped it over the defender there. Again, though, I'd like to see him maybe stop right around the 15-foot mark. Make the defender make a choice there.
On the break, though, that worked good in rhythm.
Yes.
And they were able to finish on a sweet pass by Aaron Armstead. 50-35, it's a 15-point lead. Head fake by Dudu, puts it on the deck on the baseline, trying to rotate over. Was Oliver Ellison to seal away that baseline a little too late. Good idea by Ellison, but the footwork just wasn't there.
You're precisely right. And it's funny now, Todd, we've seen things change over the years. We talked a little bit about the defenses now here, especially in the NBA. They don't allow you to keep in the paint, but you know, you see a lot of teams now allow players to go to the baseline, and I'm not sure about it. I'm watching it kind of like it's a new philosophy. You know, I always thought you cut off the baseline, you force them to come to the middle where there's other players on the court. If you're going to use the baseline as your a lane to go to the basket, to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I really like to teach when I was coaching basketball to overplay the baseline, force that offensive player to come to the middle of the court where there's other players that can get in help positions and help you. But, you know, I just watch basketball evolve, and I love the game. And, you know, you mentioned the Golden State Warriors, how they like to play in space and pace. And I think that's where basketball is going these days, Todd. I really like to see the three-point shot. I think it's an effective thing that effective shot that spreads the court, and if you get players on the court like we see in the NBA that can all shoot threes with the rules, it just is an exciting game to watch. Everybody's scoring over 100 points, and just love where basketball is going, Todd.
Alonzo Miller will trigger it in for the Warhawks. They're down 15 points, 5:38 to go. Final game of this Monday afternoon. We're in Session B of the Global Basketball Summer League here in sizzling Las Vegas. Felix Clement dumps to Dudu at the foul line. He backs down against Cullen Russo, who just checked into the contest on the dead ball. Dribble drive and a pass off comes to Alonzo. Finds the lane, hangs into the air, runs out of time, and a turnover by the Warhawks. They just have not adjusted to the 24-second clock the entire game, and they're just costing them possession out of possession.
Well, you know, when you have your coach on the court and he's not on the sidelines, it's hard for somebody to say, hey, shot clock, let's shoot it. The coach can't start yelling it from the court. So maybe one of the players on the bench can help out. Actually, I see Malott is on the bench, but he's looking a little winded right now. So, and good defense by the Canada Stars. We've got to give them credit,
Definitely.
like you mentioned.
Mike Leslie has drawn up and designed outstanding D today. There's a fadeaway high into the air. It bangs a little long by Devontae Harvey for Canada. A loose ball rebound gobbled up by the Warhawks. They need points in bunches as we move under 5 minutes to go in quarter number 3. An open lane, a dribble drive, and a kiss off the glass goes down for C.J. Bussey.
Yeah, the bank's still open here. I guess it's coming up on 6 o'clock, but he used the glass nicely there and banked it in.
Now Armstead with a pretty dribble drive. He flashes his athleticism and flexes his muscle as he finishes to the goal.
Absolutely. Could have been called for an and one there, too, but they didn't let it go. The ball went through. And I like that about the officials. Sometimes they're going to let the ball play out, and if it did change the shot, then they'll call the foul afterward, but they let him have the basket.
Andrew Farrar off a high screen, pulls up from 16, left it short off the glass, and Cullen Russo with a mop-up job and another rebound for the 6'9" forward.
Perfect timing on that, too. He got up at the height of his jump there and took that rebound.
Sweet right-handed rising kiss. The running right-hander doesn't fall, but following his own miss, Ahmad Abdullah threw it away, however, and out of the steal comes Felix Clement and the Warhawks. Still trailing by 15. Touch pass, open man, left corner, and rainbow 18-footer, and Dion Romeo is off the target.
Yeah, if they're going to get back in the game, they're going to have to convert those shots. He had a wide open look right there. Maybe possibly even could have taken a dribble or two and came hard to the basket there, but going to have to hit those open looks.
Deontay Harvey switched to the left hand. Nice give and go. He just couldn't convert. And the one-and-done rebound pulled down by the Warhawks. There's a pass by Dudu to the streaking Romeo, and he threw it away off his hand, out of bounds. The Warhawks right now just on different pages, and one possession after another, they're just squandering opportunities.
Yeah, you're precisely right. They're not reading the same book, that's for sure. And, they're going to make a wholesale substitution here. We got some fresh players coming in for the Warhawks.
Coach Malott still needs a break, huh? He's on the bench. 2 Warhawks do come in. A 52-37 deficit for Washington. Patient ball movement by the Stars. Now putting it in motion is Chuck Smith. Throws it away and a pass back up high, and out of the pack comes Tariq Ghafouri. And as he tried to work at the top of the key, a little reach-in foul.
That's a
And it'll
nifty
go
ball
against the
handling.
Hawks.
Nifty ball handling came down the middle. Not going to be able to do that too much in this tournament. I'm telling you, I'm very impressed with the speed and the athleticism I see from these young, outstanding athletes. And
In the open floor, you really get exposed defensively.
oh,
They're
absolutely.
too quick.
Yeah, there's just every player's like that here.
Brian Osei thought about an open shot, came back down on his feet, and that's a no-no. Turnover goes back to the Stars.
We're seeing that called a lot more now.
Indecisiveness, though. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's open, take the shot. Take
Yes.
the shot. Sometimes these guys overthink,
And
don't
they need to get the ball to the hoop, into the ground quickly, okay, before you take that first step. And these NBA wannabe officials are going to call that. They're outstanding officials.
Abdullah dumps down low, pinned under his own bucket, though, is Kalalu. And as he worked on a double team, looking for help, he turned it over on the traveling violation. Nice pass, but Kalalu was too deep, and there he had no prayer to find an open shot underneath.
Now, sometimes when you get in that, Todd, you might need to call a timeout. You know, you're trapped and you got a nice lead. A timeout wouldn't have hurt. You keep possession. Your team's up by 15 right now, so maybe if it was a closer, tighter game, you might have said, hey, I got to call a timeout. We'll stop the game. But right now, the Canada Stars are just looking just an overwhelming team right now, and I'm being interested to see how they match up going forward in the tournament. Now, looking at the tournament so far, there's some really outstanding teams in the tournament. I was very impressed with the game that I did earlier there, and the World Vision team came in here. Now, there's 2 teams that look like they've come in here, Todd, where they weren't drafted. This Warhawks team, I believe, is a team that's come in here and came in with 7 players. They picked up Dudu, and you can tell he's the only one with a different jersey on. So that was a team that came in here. The other team was World Vision that came in here, and they also look like a pretty strong team. We saw them take on in the game number 2 there. Who did they play there? I'm trying to think. Oh, the Greek Connect. They took on the Greek Connect. There's Sydney.
Let's go to Sydney for this update.
During the timeout, the Warhawks talked about how they need better movement with the ball and they need to keep the pressure up on defense. Like they said at halftime, they haven't played since February together, so they're still trying to get their rhythm. Guys?
Thanks, Sydney. And so Andre Jackson able to connect on an athletic running layup. At 6'7", he knocks it down, and the lead is extended for the Stars, 54-37. Turnaround extended jumper showing the deft touch is Dion Romeo. Romeo able to find a little love with that deep 3 or that deep elbow jumper, and it works well, 54-39. Cullen Russo off the dribble across the lane, bounces off of his feet, and then rams in to Dion Romeo and Brian Osei, and so pick your poison on who the foul is against. It'll go against Dion Romeo. Free throws coming up for Cullen Russo.
One thing you want to do here, and we know this in the NBA, they have that continuation play. So Russo felt the contact, threw the ball up. If it goes in, you get the 2, plus you get the free throw. If not, you get an opportunity to go to the foul line and shoot 2 free throws. And mentioned earlier about the teams in the tournament there. In the first game today, the Finnish select team was playing the French Pro-Am. That was a really great game. The second game was World Vision Sport and Greek Connect. World Vision Sports, that second team we talked about that's come in here as a team.
So that's quite an advantage, 17-point advantage here. And slowly but surely pulling away are these Canada Stars over the Washington Warhawks. Left-handed three from the right arch is a little strong off the hand of Felix Clement. The loose ball is tipped out of bounds. And we'll get a fresh 24-second clock for the Washington Warhawks.
Yeah, looks like Russo took one in the face there. He's going to shake it off there, but took a pretty good shot to his nose.
Long three into the air won't go. The ball tipped away, and then possession will go back to Canada. The Shining Stars looking strong today. Kelsey Wright-Johnson has this update.
You can see coach of the Canada Stars right now talking to his players as they're on offense, talking to the ones on the bench saying, we got to learn the plays, you got to learn the plays. You can see there with the spin move, wasn't quite the play. Coach not happy about it, and that's what he continues to stress. The beginning of the game stressed a lot of defense. Now just learning the plays in this first game together. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Kelsey. 17-point advantage. The Warhawks trail. A dribble drive as Andrew Farrar finds a cutting Brian Osei. He's back down on a double team, looking to reset. Stolen by Cullen Russo. Behind the hip, he goes with the pass, but is a little out of the reach of Ahmad Abdullah. The ball saved in bounds, and the Stars' athleticism gives them another offensive opportunity. Great stuff.
And their 110% effort there, Todd. Didn't want that ball to go out of bounds even with the 17-point lead.
Boy, Russo 6'9" and athletic behind the hip pass. That's pretty cool. Here's a left-handed running layup that's left short by Felix Clement. And one and done again with the Stars continuing to dominate. Pull up, deep jumper from the left arch. Doesn't fall from Abdullah. And out of the pack comes Tariq Ghafouri.
Warheads need to get some offense going here. See if they can get something to build off of for game two at least. And that's just what I'm talking about right there. That long three-point shot is good.
Tariq Ghafouri's second field goal of the day. He didn't hesitate, pulled up from the wing, was able to bury the jumper, and that brings them closer. They inched to within 15 with 10 seconds to go late here in the third period. Canada Stars working high, and Chuck Smith now puts it in motion on the deck, dumps it to the right corner and finds Kalalou, puts the issue towards the glass as the clock expires. He couldn't finish for two, but that's the end of the third quarter. And at halftime, Nick, it was a 12-point game. We go to the fourth period. It's expanded to 15. It's going to be awfully tough for the short roster of the Warhawks to make hay and come back in the game.
Well, it's all going to be about the first minutes of the fourth quarter here. They're either going to be able to cut into that deficit, or it's going to remain, or it's going to get bigger, and their goal is to cut into it, get this game down into single digits as quickly as they can, give themselves an opportunity to win the game here late in the fourth quarter. And I think they're starting to see that, their way they're going to do that's going to be from the outside. In that quarter alone, they made 4 3-pointers. So they're starting to take more 3-pointers. Their accuracy is getting much better. So look for them to continue that and can spread the court a little bit and have some confidence in your 3-point shooting.
Meanwhile, will they have any wind in their sails to come back in this game with only 8 men on their roster? They look awfully gassed as we look to our left on the bench. It's going to be a tough mountain to climb, huh?
We shall find out, Todd Bonacki from Missouri.
Let's go to the fourth period. We got a full slate after a long night tonight to come back at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Let's do 4 more games on Tuesday.
Look forward to it. This is just a lot of fun out here. Showcase the talent. Global Basketball Summer League, 10th year here that they've done this. Daryl Reshaw's done an excellent job as the executive director, brings in all types of talent to come in here, players, NBA officials that want to become into the NBA, and all of us here in the media, all of our sideline reporters, you, myself, we're all here showcasing our talent, trying to get a nice professional job. And I got to tell you, Todd, it's a pleasure working with you. I just love it. You're fantastic. The words and every way that you describe the game is just enjoyable so much. So, boy, I'm in heaven here. This is awesome.
Thanks, Nick, and thanks to all the volunteers also that have come out and helped us here at Media Row with the scoreboards and the statistics and the PA work. It's been awesome. This really feels like a very professional event here in midsummer.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to the fourth period. 56-41 in favor of the Canada Stars. A win in this game, and they'll come back late tomorrow and play at 4 o'clock. We start at 10 a.m., 4 games here at the Doolittle Community Center. 56-41, the possession of the Stars, working to our right. Holding up high, Oliver Ellison. Ball fakes on Dudu Gaye. Goes to the left hand with a runner, and that's left off the front of the rim. Rebound and an outlet, streaking towards the glass, and down goes Mike Malott with a floating jumper through the lane.
Nice float shot right there.
He had a long break on the bench, so he should be fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. And he had to get it up over the sequoias right there and did a nice job of floating it up.
You and your California trees, huh, the sequoias?
Well, for sequoias and redwoods, okay, we got a lot of redwoods there. And
dribble drive, that time by Malcolm Lemons, and he finds contact, and he'll head to the free throw line. Malcolm Lemons, who last played at Tokyo.
I see that a Japanese player got drafted in the NBA. Now he was in the second round there. Joe Shu got drafted by the Houston Rockets. And I read an interesting article, Todd, about basketball players in the Asia. They're just not turning out the players that they need to, and they need coaches there. So, if anybody wants to go and be as a good coach and wants to go to China and Asia and get down there and help the players, that's the place to go. They need some good coaching down there right now.
These athletes had a treat last night and a lecture from Jay Humphreys back at our team hotel, and he talked about not only overseas coaching but playing abroad, and hopefully a lot of these young men had their ears perked and absorbed a lot of what he had to say with some really good insight of how you adapt to the cultures in the game playing overseas.
Yeah, and you know what? It's all about opportunities. There's a long three-pointer right there. That's a Steph Curry three-pointer. He's not quite in that range yet, but it was close.
He left it short, 57-43, attacking on the dribble drive on the opposite end is the awfully athletic Malcolm Lemons.
Well, Todd, back to what you were talking about there, the overseas play. A good stepping stone for a lot of these players is going to be to go overseas for 1 year, possibly 2 years, play in the Euro League, Australia, Canada. Get yourself acclimated to professional basketball and then come back here to the NBA D-League, which is now being called the G League. They're going to switch it. Yeah. And so then you get an opportunity to grow as a young player, because most of these guys are young guys, and going overseas would be a good experience for them to see how basketball is played around the world and to grow as individuals.
If you took one thing away from Jay Humphreys' lecture last night of success overseas, and he brought it up multiple times, he kept saying you have to be a professional. And if you're a professional, these foreign coaches and front offices will make sure that you have a long and lasting career playing abroad in professional basketball. Now, he left that open-ended of what it means to be a professional, to be consistent. But a lot of that, these guys have to figure out themselves as they try to assimilate into those cultures.
Yeah, you're right about that. And that's growing as individual men,
Brian Osei with a sweet turnaround shot. The short jumper is a little long. And gobbling up the rebound and flying is C.J. Bussey. Lobs underneath, wide open, and cherry picking is Mark Brown, and he'll gladly take those 2 points and put it in his hip pocket. It's 60-43 with 8 minutes to go in regulation.
It's a beautiful lob pass there. Coach Malott didn't notice the player, didn't feel him behind him. It went right over his head.
Malott's got a sweet stroke with a man in his face.
Hits the
three-pointer. He hits the long jumper. That was sweet. Now he attempts to steal at midcourt and comes just short as he clipped the body of Lemons and commits the foul.
Looks like it got darker here on one side of the court or something. I'm not sure what happened here. Looking at our monitor, felt like it did, didn't it? Light? Did we lose a bank of lights or something? But who knows? I'm sorry about that, Todd.
That's all right. No, it does look darker on one camera angle than another.
You got something going here, but back to the ball game. Threw a little curveball at you, Todd.
It's
sorry
okay.
about that.
That's all right.
Caught my eye, and I'm noticing in our camera here something's
darker on one end. The Stars are shooting lights out, but not that. That's sharp to lower the lights, huh?
Yeah, you're sharp
60
yourself
to
there,
45.
Todd Bonacki. I love it.
The Warhawks have the possession. Long three on the wing is off the money by Gaffori. And the one and done again. They don't get many second chance opportunities against the Canada Stars. Great ball movement. Wide open three into the air and landed by Aaron Armstead out of Northern Illinois University.
Nice stroke right there. Beautiful, sweet stroke. The Stars,
unselfishness.
The Stars are shining. There's no doubt about that. They're shining today. They're looking really good. This is a good game for them. They're going to have a tough matchup in their second round against Point Streak. Point Streak is really athletic team, real tall. They're coached by Jay Humphreys from the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, Daryl Armstrong.
Oh, excuse me, Daryl Armstrong. Beautiful right-hand hammer slam right there.
Aaron Armstead, Malcolm Lemons, Cullen Russo. We've called all the names today. Guys like Chuck Smith, C.J. Bussey have all contributed. This is a real good team effort from the Canada Stars. And as long as they continue to show this balance, they'll be right in this tournament come Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, I'm impressed. The team's moving on here into the winner's bracket here. We talked about the first game of the day. The French Pro-Am defeated the Finnish Select team. In the game number 2 at 12 o'clock, the Greek Connect defeated the World Vision Sport. That was a real close game. Kind of surprised me, to tell you the truth. I thought the World Vision Sport team
Great defense from Greek Connect.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that really, I think, turned the tide. They played great defense. They hit their jumpers. They were very sound today, and they beat a real good juggernaut in World Vision. On paper, World Vision looked big, strong, tough. They had a lot of blue chips from big-time schools, and still it was the Greek Connect team that played good fundamental basketball and beat them.
Coach Linos Gabriel did a great job there. He really, and I talked to him before the game. He said, "Oh boy, I got a challenge." I said, "But that's what what you're all about, Coach." So, big win for the Greek Connect, and they'll be playing in the second round there in the winners bracket tomorrow against the French Pro-Am.
20-point advantage, the largest of the afternoon for the Canada Stars, 65-45. So we approach 6 o'clock here in the West Coast. Long days of basketball. We arrive here at about, 8:45, 9 o'clock in the morning.
I think
we don't get home till about 6:30 or so each day.
Yeah, and I think some of us are going over to the Las Vegas Pro Summer League starting. They got the Warriors and the Cavaliers playing over there tonight.
Aaron Armstrong to the business end of Oliver Ellison, and he lays down some thunder on a bright sunny day from Las Vegas, Nevada.
We need a little rain with that thunder, though. 115 degrees here in Las Vegas.
Actually, we had a cool front. I think it's only 105, 106 out there today.
Oh.
So
there's
a sharp cold front has come through the desert here in Nevada.
Well, it's tough to tell. We've been in the Doolittle Community Center
all day. It's a comfortable 70 degrees throughout the week here in the Doolittle Center. They do have a swimming pool right behind us, although I never see anybody swimming in the pool. Every time we've come by or walked outside or past it, it's always locked and closed. Go figure. Long three from the right perimeter is stroked down from Aaron Armstead. Well, he's got a sweet release, and that time nothing but net.
Everything's dropping right now for the Canada Stars, and they're shining. It's a great day for them. This is the biggest margin we've had in any of the first 3 games, Todd.
70-48 with 5:26 to go, and the Canada Stars are going to waltz into the semifinals tomorrow late at 4 o'clock. Deep three off a screen by Mike Malott, and the player/head coach leaves it off the front of the iron. Another one and done, another rebound for Canada.
Well, he was directly straight on the shot. He just needed a little bit more off of it, but he's got a nice shot, the coach does.
There's a touch pass to the wing and a 3 chance for Malcolm Lemons from C.J. Bussey. That rims away. Now Lemons finds a steal. Malcolm Lemons rises in against Dudu, and Dudu challenged him. Packed him hard on the wrist. Lemons goes tumbling over the baseline, and he'll head to the line. Dudu Gaye just doesn't have much help down there in the post.
And he's not giving up an easy basket. You got to remember, we talked about this. We've said it several times. 110%. Everybody's playing hard. Your team might not be doing that well, but I'm going to give my best effort when I'm on the court, and you got to appreciate that. And I'm sure the scouts are, and the fans, and everybody in the arena here. Nobody's giving up. They're going to play hard when you're on the court. When you get off the court and sit on the bench, you'll take your break. But when I get out there in the hardwood, I'm going to leave it out there, everything I've got, because this is why I'm here. This is why we're all here. We want to make an impression. We want to show our talent. The referees, the players, us in the media booth.
4:52 to go. Free throw high into the air, and that's off the money as well, off the hand of Malcolm Lemons. Mike Malott finds the loose ball. His Warhawks trail by 22 points, and we get a little touch foul in front of us. Reaching around on an ill-advised play was Malcolm Lemons to try to steal it away from Mike Malott. Sydney Carriel is our sideline reporter, and she has an update for us. Sydney.
During the timeout earlier, the Warhawks said they need to start shooting more and drive to the net. They told each other to keep hustling up and down the court so we can get back in this. Guys?
Thanks a bunch, Sydney. Appreciate all your hard work throughout the week. There's more Sydney to come over the next couple of days here from Doolittle. 70-50 the score. Impressive effort today from the Canada Stars. Well balanced. They've played well as a team, and they've executed beautifully. Here's a slashing shot towards the rack. Unable to land it was Cullen Russo. And I know he's frustrated with himself. Big guys want to finish shots like that, don't they, Nick?
Absolutely. He had a nice little shot off it, kissed it off the glass. It rolled around and rolled off. And, you know, Todd, what I like about that was the official's call. He let the play finish.
Develop,
okay? If the ball would have gone through, he wouldn't have called the foul. But the defense did cause the shot to be off the rim. There was enough contact, and when it didn't go in, then he blew the whistle. I like that. I like that style of officiating. I really do. No reason to call a foul right away. The ball goes in, gets the 2 points. There wasn't enough contact, but once it didn't, there was enough contact that it caused the ball to go off the rim.
Cullen Russo played at Fresno State in Central California and went to the NIT this past winter with his bunch. They won 21 games this past year, Fresno State University. As he lands the back end of the 2 free throws. Back to the other end on a slashing dribble drive. C.J. Bussey bounces off his feet, left it short. Pulled down by Russo, and he'll put it in motion for the Canada Stars. They've been in motion all day to the tune of 71-50. From the elbow, clamped on a double team, is Kalaloo. And the Canada Stars throw away a good opportunity to add to their advantage. And coming out of the pack comes Mike Malat and these Warhawks. Off a screen, he pops from 3, nothing but net. Mike Malat never met a 3-point attempt he didn't like as he lands a triple from the top of the key. His team, though, is down by 18. Sweet crossover dribble, wraparound layup. Book it for Ishmaelia Kalaloo. Nice dance move by Kalaloo, and he knew how to finish underneath. That was nice.
He had the partner he wanted, okay? Yeah. He found the partner he needed, and he went right at him, and that was a beautiful shot. Used the rim, came underneath, came out the back door and laid it in. Came in through the back door.
Here's behind the back and to the trailing Cullen Russo. He couldn't connect on the pass from Devontae Harvey. They wear a smile on their face. If they had about a week or so together, perhaps that chemistry would have worked on that play.
Yeah, you know, Russo's just off a little bit. We're watching him real acute here, and he's a fine player. He's just off a little bit, missing a couple of shots that he normally might make, and that ball came off his hands. Maybe a good night's sleep, and he gets home here and comes back tomorrow. He may be a real big threat going forward for the team here, the Canada Stars.
Brian Osei with an open spot up 18-footer. That's off target, and a loose ball rebound to Dudu Gaye. He's been awfully active today, trying to do whatever it takes in the post and also up high, and just too much for Dudu Gaye to try to swallow this afternoon.
Yeah, I like him. He's a good player.
Definitely.
We got an opportunity to see him play 3 times, and he gives 100% on the court there, and they got it. They picked up a good player there. You know, they came in here. They only obviously had 7 players, so they were looking for a player that could help him, and Dudu said he'd stick around and do it, and his size, and they're going to need his size going forward in this tournament, because I can tell you this, there's other teams that are going to have way more length and size than the Washington Warheads, and without Dudu Gaye, they would be really undermanned. So a good night's sleep, maybe they can reevaluate their strategy of how they're going to attack these teams. Hopefully Coach Malat had an opportunity to see some of the other teams in the tournament. So he's going to understand, listen, we're not going to win this game inside. We're going to have to open up the court, hit our 3-pointers, maybe even come up with a full court press, something where they can use their speed and their quickness to their advantage, because if they allow the teams to do what they're going to do, and that's pounded inside, we've seen that with these 6'9", 6'10" elevation sensations, they're going to have no opportunity to win any of these games.
Especially if a guy like Dudu Gaye gets in any sort of foul trouble and has to sit for an extended time, they'll really be in trouble.
Yeah, they're absolutely. Let's see if Dudu can
A
cash
good Dudu is a Dudu on the floor.
We don't
You
want,
don't want bad doo-doo on the bench.
Yeah, this is great. Hey, Todd, we could have a lot of fun with that. We'll do that another time, but
We'd have to change the rating, I think, to a PG-13 on the webcast if we did that.
oh, this is great working with you, Todd Bonacki out of Missouri.
Dudu Gaye misses one off the heel of the iron.
Yeah, how was the weather in Missouri, by the way? You stepped off that plane here, 115 degrees. I know I came from San Francisco.
Went from humidity to bone-dry heat.
Yeah, what was the temperature there?
Probably in the upper 90s when I left. It's unbelievably hot out here, though. Long triple into the air, and the rebound yanked away by Cullen Russo. You know, you walk around the casinos, though. Most people are just oblivious, though, to the heat outside. It is so chilly indoors, and that's the place to be in Las Vegas.
Yeah, especially you go out on Fremont Street. Everybody's pretty much oblivious to everything
anything
out there.
75-53, 2:28 to go, the final game of the day. And we'll take about, a 14, 15-hour break and be right back to work bright and early tomorrow
Can't
morning.
wait, Todd. Can't wait. Looking forward to it here. This is a lot of fun. Las Vegas, Nevada right now is the hotbed for basketball. We've got the NBA Summer League going on just
about
down
5 miles down the road.
Yeah, just
Thomas and Mack Center.
Yeah,
Cox Pavilion hosting that.
and they're getting huge crowds. I've seen some
Sure.
of the crowds there. There's a lot of people going to those games, and if you can't get in there, come on down the street here a little bit to the Doolittle Community Center, and you get to watch some basketball. Only cost you $10 to get in.
Long three missed from distance. Bussey back to the other end, streaking down the court, laying it up and home. Chuck Smith able to finish and one. And you talked earlier, Nick, about these officials. They are pulling double duty here at the Doolittle, and they're also rotating down at the NBA Summer League. So they're getting all sorts of summer opportunities. You talked about George Oliver and his presence earlier in the broadcast. Well, he said also that there are 10 different events that these officials are attending throughout the summer between the end of the NBA Finals and the end of August. So they're getting multiple opportunities around the nation to hone their skills.
Very good. Well, I'll tell you, we need more officials, okay? If you're a good ball player and your career's ending, think about officiating. It's a job that needs to be done, and there's money to be made in it.
Another way to stay very involved
in the ball game, in the game.
in
Very
the future
good.
of the game as well.
Absolutely.
Ahmad Abdullah rises and flies, and he's able to land the little layup. 79-53 in a rout from the Doolittle Center.
And all sexes. We have some women out here officiating, and women officials are as needed as much as men officials. So, I think I'd like to promote that. Get out there, become official.
And it's not just at the WNBA level as well.
Absolutely.
There are female officials calling big-time NBA games. 79-55. You ever officiate?
Yes.
Umpire?
Yes, and I enjoy doing it, to tell you the truth. And I thought I was pretty good at it. Just now that I got my 2 new knees, Todd, you never know. I may get back into it, okay?
No more umpiring for you crouching behind the plate, though, with those 2 knees, huh?
No, you kidding me? These 2 knees
You're
are
good as new, another 50 years.
I'm good as new, yeah. 2 new knee replacements for me here. I'm just rehabbing off of my second, and really happy to get that done, Todd. I'll tell you, Kaiser Permanente's done a fine job for me.
81-58 with 1:03 to go before we check out and check back into the hotel. Long three from the left corner, and that goes down for the player coach.
That puts him well over 20 points now, Todd. If I'm right, I think he's got 23 points, so he's by far the leading scorer.
He's taken the most shots, that's for sure. 81-61 with 46 seconds to go. So a blowout from the Doolittle Center to wrap up day 1 of Session B, and it'll set the tone for tomorrow's games that begin bright and early, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Garbage time on both ends as Dudu Gaye outlets ahead, and cherry picking is the player coach as Mike Malott continues to pile up points. 81-63. Final possession of the game, and the Canada Stars looked awfully impressive today. They'll be tough for the rest of the tournament.
Well, I think tomorrow they're going to run into a pretty tough team in Point Streak. Point Streak is really athletic, and you mentioned their coach, Darryl Armstrong from the Dallas Mavericks. That's going to be a tough task for the Canada Stars. They're going to have to come out and play their best game. Otherwise, they're going to run into a well-coached team right there. And I'm looking forward to that game, okay? You got 2 winners brackets game tomorrow, 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock. The 12 o'clock game will be the French Pro-Am and the Greek Connect, who upset the World Vision Sport. The 4 o'clock game will be between these Canada Stars and Point Streak. The other 2 games will be in the morning at 10 a.m. You got the Finnish Select. They're going to go against World Vision Sport. Those are 2 teams that were pretty tough teams there. They're the losers bracket game. They're going to play their hearts out in that first game. And at 2 p.m. tomorrow, you'll have the Windsor Express going against these Washington Warhawks.
The good news, if you're Coach Mike Leslie and the Canada Stars, you really cannot pick one player of the game.
All right, Aaron, great first game. You ended as the leading scorer of your team, 13 points. Tell me what it's like getting that first victory. So your coach, I'm just going to give you some background. Your coach in the last session lost the first game. Once you lose that game, you are in the loser's pool for the entire time. So you guys now in the winner's pool have a chance to get to the championship. Tell me how you're feeling right now.
I mean, it's always good to get that first win, you know, and it's great to know that we have a chance at the championship in the winner's pool. So that's always a good feeling.
Perfect. Now, you guys only practiced one time before tonight. You looked pretty solid out there against a team that plays together year-round. Tell me about your chemistry as a team.
I mean, we got some pretty good ball players on our team. You know, everybody pretty much thinks the game. We play hard, and we play together. That's the best part. The coach emphasized that is playing hard in the first game is always, you know, to get us going. So.
Your coach is emphasizing defense a lot in the first half, but then he switched it up really in the third quarter, letting you guys know that you got to start knowing the offense. You got to start knowing your plays and really making good decisions. What do you think came out of that?
Like you said, it was really we focused on defense a lot in the first half. It was a low-scoring game. Then, you know, once he started telling us, you know, run the offense, push the ball a little bit more, you know, the score started, you know, increasing. You saw that throughout the score. I mean.
And there you go. They got the first W of the event. Guys, I'm going to throw it back to you. Congratulations again.
Thank you.